The history of Bible translation to English.
The fascinating story of how we got the Bible in its present form dates back to 1400 BC with the Ten Commandments, followed by a period of reformations that lasted almost 3,000 years, which covers the transmission of the Scripture from the original languages of Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, and through the Dark and Middle Ages when the Word was trapped only in Latin. So, how did the Bible come into England and the English language?
Well, the story began with the Roman invasion of Britain, when Jerome's Latin Vulgate translation of the Bible was used in Celtic monasteries. Later on, as Germanic peoples came to Britain, of whose dialects Old English developed, it arose the need for an English version of the Scriptures. Nearly 400 years later, John Wycliffe argued against the teachings of the Roman Catholic Church, hence he produced the first handwritten English copy of the complete Bible. 70 years later, Gutenberg invented the printing press and the first book to be printed was the Bible. It was, however, in Latin rather than English. Nonetheless, in 1526 AD, the Tyndale New Testament was the first book printed in the English language. Its translation from the original Greek source revealed the enormous corruptions in Jerome's Latin Vulgate, which infuriated the people of God. Regrettably, he was hunted and burned at the stake. His last words were,
O Lord, open the King of England's eyes.
3 years later, in 1539, as King Henry VIII wished to divorce his wife and marry his mistress, he renounced Roman Catholicism and established the Anglican Church, or the Church of England. And as its new head, his first act was to publish the first legal English Bible. Just to spite Rome, it was known as the Great Bible. Later on, Queen Mary, in her quest to return England to the Roman Church, obstructed the printing of the Bible. Thereupon Protestants were burned at the stake, while some fled to Geneva, Switzerland. There a new version of the Bible was published in 1560, known as the Geneva Bible. It holds the honor of being the first Bible taken to America, and the Bible of the Puritans and Pilgrims. Also, William Shakespeare's quotes in his plays come from this translation.
By the 1580s, the Roman Catholic Church released their own English translation of the Bible, known as the Reims New Testament. In retaliation, the Protestant clergy approached King James I in 1604 and announced their desire for a new translation to end all translations. And in 1611, the King James Bible came off the printing press. It took many years for it to overtake the popularity of the Geneva Bible, but eventually it became the Bible of the English people.
Until today, modern English has influenced new translations, such as the New King James Version and the NIV, becoming the most translated and printed book in the history of the world.